Hello, welcome to the Other 14 FC podcast. I'm Alex, Crystal Palace fan.
And I'm Tom, a West Ham fan.
And this is your podcast for everything not top six. Tired of your team being last on match of the day, not getting the flowers they deserve? Well, that's about to change. Tom, what do we have for listeners this week?
Alex Scott hangs up on his doubters. Konstantinos Paolo Mavdini. Olé 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 at Old Trafford for Leeds. It's been a month since we last recorded, maybe just under. How many stag do's have you been on in that time, mate?
2.5. Nah, 2, and then got a third one coming up next week. It's been relentless, but yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to be with some normality. I think the last time we potted I was in Cyprus. I was like, I can't be doing this. I was like a broken man. Then more stag do's came up. I'm not going to Florence this time because I couldn't get any tickets, and also there's apparently a blanket ban on alcohol in Italy on match days for the Conference League. Don't know if that's true or not, but I'm going by that line. And I didn't want to be in the middle of Florence with, thousands of Florentino ultras and no beer, so I decided to stay at home for this one.
Yeah, I'm not sure you can do a Palace away day without copious amounts of beer, mate.
Exactly. But yeah, we're back. I'm happy to be back. How you been holding up? You all good? You collected more Pokemon cards? You got any shinies or rares or anything to show?
No more Pokemon cards since I last saw you. Just tattoos. Just got my neck tattooed and got a scorpion on my leg and stuff. So yeah, I'm just been collecting tattoos over the last month.
Didn't you get the Tony Soprano tattoo as well with the tiger? Was that a new one or was that an old one?
That's fairly old now, about 6 weeks old, but I do have a tiger.
Yeah.
It's not that based off of Tony Soprano.
I'm sure it's the same one.
Although now I want a Tony Soprano tattoo.
I think you've already got it, mate. Can you imagine?
I've told you I want to name my cats Tony Soprano and Gabagool, right?
That's brilliant. It shows how many tattoos you have that you probably already have a Tony Soprano tattoo without even noticing.
Probably, it's kismet.
Cool. Okay, mate. Yeah, let's take a break and get into it and see how you've put West Ham first of the running order. Okay, we're back. So, Tom, where do you want to start? I don't think we can start with West Ham, surely.
Right, well, I had a dilemma because I did initially put West Ham first.
I know you did.
Of course.
I've seen the running order, and I know you would have put West Ham first. Of course I did.
And then I was like going through the other games, and it just didn't feel right, one, to relegate this game too much, but then two, because the other games kind of go into each other with the relegation race and stuff. So I do think we have to start with Bournemouth going to the Emirates Stadium, and as I said in the intro, Alex Scott with his phone celebration hanging up on his doubters. They took the game to Arsenal. They defended really, really well and come out 2-1 winners.
Yeah, let's talk about Bournemouth and then I'll go on my very happy about Arsenal bottom the league rant or comments afterwards. But I think Bournemouth looked beyond good for the win. Do you agree? Mm-hmm. They look like most likely for scoring from the beginning. Krupi opens the scoring. It's crazy how he stepped up. I was expecting him to do well, but not this well and keep it going for this long.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting. Maybe football fans who have watched him as he came through at Lorient, and I think he was signed last January and went back on loan there for the rest of the season. I don't think anyone could have predicted that he would have stepped up this much and became the first teenager to score 10 or more in a Premier League season since Robbie Keane in 2000.
Really, that long ago? That doesn't feel right. Well, I'm not going to question you.
Well, don't fact check it. So I did hear it multiple times over the weekend, so I'm sure it's pretty accurate.
But I think Bournemouth came with a plan as well, didn't they? Especially in attack. It seemed like from early highlights and early play, they were looking to basically get Arsenal on a break, get in down the sides of them and put the ball into the box. And that seemed to be causing Arsenal trouble to no end, really, to begin with.
Yeah, and there's been a bit of a blueprint put out recently about how to attack Arsenal, and Iraola has coached this team so well, and it will probably come onto the news in a minute, but he's coached them so well. The amount of energy that Bournemouth play with is just insane. Like, when they are hot, they are burning hot. Like, they go at times, they don't just go like chaotically. Like, like some of Jurgen Klopp's teams did previously, sort of thing. But like they just pressed Arsenal at the right times in the centre backs and the defensive midfield positions, and that's where the second goal comes from as well. Like just like opening up Arsenal. But the first one is a really good acrobatic finish.
It is a really.
And then
how does he get his leg up there? It does look like you just go with your head at that point, wouldn't you?
Yeah, yeah. And then I think the penalty's a bit harsh down the other end.
I had probably a pen for me. What I couldn't get was why there was such a big deal of this ref cam nonsense with it. Like, before I'd even seen what happened, because I was on a I was on a mate's birthday in Nottingham on Saturday, and like I looked on Instagram and it was like ref cam here, ref cam this, ref cam that. I was like, I do not care, and it's not like anything amazing's happened on it either. But if it was against my team, I wouldn't wait. If it was given against my team, I wouldn't be happy. But if it happened for my team, I'd really fucked this one up. If it was for my team,
no, I know what you mean. If it was given for Palace, you'd be happy. But if it was given against Palace, you wouldn't. But like, I do that. Yeah, like my reasoning is he's really close to him and it's booted at him. So it's kind of like, it's one of they're given these days. For me, it's just not a penalty.
Yeah, it's fair. But I mean, have the pen, and you would probably, I don't know, you'd probably expect a team to crumble when it's happened to Arsenal in the form, well, not the form Arsenal have recently been in, but throughout the season. But they just either disallowed goal for offside, which definitely offside, no complaints with that. And
no complaints.
The only way I can describe the Alex Scott goal, it felt like a hot knife through butter for Bournemouth. It felt like they were just playing at will against Arsenal.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen a player create that much space in the Arsenal sort of midfield defence this season. It was like the quick sort of give and goes, it was really, really great touch from Evan Nilsson, because he kind of drags the defenders out, and Alex Scott has just breezed past the midfielder that was running with him, and it was really like, it was almost like I'd pressed pause when he got in front of goal and he had that space, because I was like, there's no way. How has he got like the freedom of the Emirates? And it was like you knew he was going to tuck it away. Like Alex Scott, I don't have enough like glowing praise for that player. Like,
mate, if that's the best defence in the world, there's no fucking defending left, is there?
Yeah, there was no defending going on then. They literally like ushered him into the penalty box, and yeah, he slots it past Raya, and I think it was deserved for Bournemouth. Like, as I said, they defended really well after that Scott goal. There's an amazing
pressure piled on, isn't there? And I think you're about to say,
yeah, the amazing Jimenez goal saving tackle where he absolutely gets like crunched for it as well, and Jimenez is someone who I think really struggled early on in the season and was almost a bit of a liability at times, and I think he had to get taken out with the starting lineup for a bit. But it's really come on over sort of the second half of the season, kind of from like January onwards, and that's just more testament to Iraola's coaching. Like, a player who struggled, take him out of the limelight, get him like coach him back up, and then get him back in, and he's looking like an absolutely quality player.
Yeah, he really does. I remember when he was playing against Palace, I think earlier in the season, I was like, this guy's garbage. But yeah, he's really come around with it. And I guess, touching on your point that you nearly went on to earlier, it's going to be a bit of a shame with the news coming out from Bournemouth now that Iraola's going to be leaving at the end of the season. I think it's pretty much a known fact around everyone that he's.
I think everyone expected it, right? Like, yeah. I think we all kind of knew that this was happening, and then it's just been confirmed this week. I do be interesting to see where Iraola goes next. There's Possibility Athletic Club where he played there. Valverde's leaving at the end of the season, so that might be the emotional tie, or whether he gets a big six kind of job, whether the Man United job or something, or Liverpool or someone look at him. I think what he's done with Bournemouth over the last 3 years has been excellent. Like, they have some American owners, but they aren't the richest team in the world. They've lost some quality players over the last 3 years, and they've bounced back from each of them. Like when they lost Semenyo in January, we weren't really sure what to expect from them after that. Like that was their talisman.
We thought they were going down, didn't we? Let's be honest. Like we did January, maybe not.
No, because they had that amazing start to the season, and then they had a 10-game spell where they were awful. They just couldn't get a result.
We thought the season was gonna fade out, didn't we? That was it.
Yeah, exactly. Because they got down to 15th. Like they were below Tottenham at the start of January.
Beginning of the season, we thought it was them and Brentford, didn't we? Would be maybe languishing down there because basically Bournemouth selling all the defence, and if you sell all your defence, then that's where you kind of get in trouble for relegation, because as long as you can defend, you can get clean sheets and pick up points along the way. But it's been proved wrong. I mean, I don't know where Bournemouth go next, really, but that's because I'm not a loser or hipster football fan like you were. I know these up-and-coming managers in the Dutch and Spanish leagues, if I'm being honest. So, yeah, I'm sure that they'll be able to do something, but it's a worry.
Yeah, I'm not sure where they're going to go next, but they've got some time to think about it, at least between now and the end of the season. I think that's always a benefit, and I would imagine they'll go a similar route to Iraola, to how they've addressed player needs over the last couple of years. They will look for your next up-and-coming manager rather than getting in more of a known name. So, yeah, be interesting. I might do some research and have a look and see who's linked.
Iraola will be coming to Palace to charge us to the
such a rogue link. Palace are slightly bigger, a bigger team than Bournemouth, but it just wouldn't make much sense as a career trajectory.
Mate, I'll be honest with you. There was what was it? It said Iraola said he won't be going to Palace. It was a statement that came out, or just one of those clickbait ones. I was like, yeah, I know. Of course he's not coming. And then the next day it was Frank Lampard is out of the race for Crystal Palace manager. I was like, thank fuck. Oh no, what a shame that would have been. Oh god, but yeah, I think that's everything you're touching at, apart from Arsenal Bond League. Hilarious. I can't wait. I actually can't wait. But yeah, that's cool. Okay, let's move on to your guys' game then. West Ham 4, Wolves 0. Let me start. Finally. The first half of this game was a snore fest.
The first 35 minutes were pretty dire.
I mean, I messaged you, didn't I, that meme where it's a guy poking something with a stick, do something. Because I was like, this is my Friday night, mate. I want something to happen.
Yeah, what I would say is I think Wolves were the slightly better team of those 30 minutes. They looked a little bit more, they eased into the game a little bit more.
Yeah,
but
I'd agree.
Once that first goal goes in, and I think it's not just when the first goal goes in, but the goal happening quite just a few minutes before half time. West Ham had their tails up until half time. I think there's one key moment for Wolves that West Ham survive early in the second half, and Angel Gomez hitting the post from a free kick.
Is that one?
If that goes,
no. Is that the one?
No, it hits the post. I can't remember if it was tipped or not.
I may have been asleep at that
point.
Did
Hermanson? It was only about 56 minutes or so in, but it was that was Wolves' best chance to get back into the game, and it was only 1-0. And then that was the one where Somerville then ran down the other end and had a long shot on the break that went wide, which he should have scored from. So but then after that, West Ham do get the second through we've got Tati Castellanos. Amazing assist from Pablo, just a little reverse pass through to him, and then Tati just gets a toe on, just scuffs it into the corner.
Proper scuff shot, wasn't it?
Proper scuffed shot.
He's breaking that curse of West Ham strikers.
Yeah, I think he's on 4 in all competitions, 3 in the league so far. So, it's better than 99% of West Ham strikers over the last 15 years. So, I'll take it.
More than them all combined, in all honesty.
Yeah, pretty much. He's reaching Modibo Maiga levels at the moment. So, yeah, we're getting there with the striker. He gets his second one 60 seconds later. Bowen nicks it, gets it on the break, and then a deflected finish from Tati, but He looked like he loved that, like those scoring those 2 goals. Like obviously as a striker, you want to be scoring week in week out. He's not throughout his career. He's not been a prolific striker. When we signed him, Lazio fans were in all the forums and that and social media laughing their heads off and stuff. He's obviously not been prolific since he's got here, but he works hard and like he will do all the dirty work. Like he will do like run about for however long he's on the pitch, and he'll give everything.
Yeah, you can. That's all you can ask for. You've had strikers that before, but he's putting it in. Just with the second goal, it definitely wasn't a foul in the build-up, but
no,
it was. It looked like a foul to begin with, but yeah, it just looked odd. And then Wolves were just in trouble pretty much straight away. And to finish it off, Big Mav getting a second. I was there like, Big Mav needs to get a hat trick here. He just needs to. Could you imagine?
Oh, it would have been so good if he did. Paolo Konstantinos Mavdini.
Trick scorer for West Ham. It would have been unreal. But
it was like, do you remember like a couple of weeks ago, a couple matches ago when we drew with City and Mavropanos scored the equaliser? That was our first centre-back goal for 2 years, and now he's on 3 in like 4 games.
I was going to say, it looked like it was buzzing in London Stadium. You must have been cheering there with your binoculars in hand, having a great time.
Mate, I reckon my seat is about as far away from the pitch as your seat.
No, yeah,
because I'm right in the behind the goal. So
you're row number 1. I'm 6. Oh god, but yeah, I mean, big win for you. That's the only way you can really put it, isn't it?
Massive win. Like the atmosphere was great. Singing "You're Going Down with the Tottenham" to Wolves was just very, very enjoyable. Obviously, we'll come on to that result in a bit, but I did play. I was like stressed all weekend ahead of the hate watch, and this could have been a massive slip up for West Ham. Like that, like this was a must win game. Like obviously, it gets us out of the relegation zone at least for a couple of days before Tottenham's result on Sunday. And Wolves had been better in the last 3 months than obviously at the start of the season. Like they battered us in the away fixture. They'd been given they got draws at Arsenal, I think Liverpool, and that they'd been taking points off teams.
Yeah, that was their first loss in 3 games, and yeah, they, like you say, in the beginning of the game they looked like they were on par with you, but heads dropped. I don't know really what it was, just the occasion. You've got something to play for. All those cliches really felt like they came true in that second half when those 2 quick-fire goals came and kind of just completely turned the game round altogether. But
but that's what I mean. Like when it's 1-0 and Gomez hits the post from the free kick, that doesn't go in, and then West Ham quite quickly got the second goal from that, and then obviously the third goal comes immediately after, like 60 seconds after the second one, I think it was, roughly. So like that definitely, Wolves at that point were just they huffed and puffed towards the end of the game, tried stuff, but it wasn't like they were playing with their heads down, and they were just playing to finish off the game. It could have been more from a West Ham point of view. Like I mentioned that Somerville long shot on the break, Bowen hits the post, and then Adama has a counter attack that he scuffs the shot wide. Like he tries to dink it over the keeper, and I think he just scuffs it too much, and it doesn't get the right purchase on it, and ends up going past the post. But yeah, a 4-0 win, given our position, given how important that result was absolutely incredible. So yeah, I left the London Stadium feeling very excited on Friday night.
You just need to back it up in your next game. Who could that be against?
Yeah, if you could just roll over for us next Monday, that would do us a favour. What I am pissed off about is that we play after Spurs next week. I would just have really liked the fixture gods to have made it so that we played before them each week, just to pile the pressure on.
Yeah, but what if they lose their next game and you're game in hand with 2 points ahead?
It's all right, because you'll still be on the piss up from Fiorentina from getting through to the Conference League semis. So you'll take the weekend off training, and then Monday half-arse it against us, and we'll get a 3-0 win at Selhurst, right?
Yeah, if we hadn't beaten
That's how it works.
if we hadn't beaten Newcastle, I'd be saying that's not going to be the case. But now we can get on the beach. It's all good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, touching on enough stuff already. Cool. Okay, let's move. Let's move through the other relegation teams, and then we can talk about like the relegation as a whole, if you want. Does that work?
Yeah. Let's do the other results.
Yeah. Move on to United 1, Leeds 2. A result I didn't see coming. I mean, you just put into the fact that United being in a bit better form, but also the horrid record Leeds have had at Old Trafford since literally since that Jermaine Beckford goal in the goals in the FA Cup.
Yeah, that's the last win at Old Trafford in all competitions, and then this was the first win at Old Trafford in the league since 1981. Like,
mental, isn't it? It's absolutely great. The amount of hatred between those two clubs as well. I cannot imagine. There must be Leeds fans, what we're recording on Wednesday, that are still pissed on Monday night. Like,
yeah, for sure. The town of Leeds is still flowing with brew, like for the next week. I mean, it comes hot off the back of. I know we didn't do a pod last week because it was only West Ham Leeds in the FA Cup, and West Ham lost, so I was a bit salty. But it comes hot off them getting into the semi-final for the first time since I want to say 87, if not 88. It's one of the two. But like that, what a week for Leeds fans! Like this result basically puts them safe because like recently they've notched away at some draws, but then this one just with the other results how they went, they're now 6 points out of the relegation zone, like with 6 games to play.
Yeah, I think they're safe. I mean, I'd want a bit more of a buffer, but just touch on that FA Cup game. That FA Cup game has been my game of the season so far. It had everything. Like,
it was just stupid. What a stupid game of football that was.
So back and forth. And yeah, you were one of the ones that left the stadium, weren't you, as well?
No.
Yeah.
I had my bag and my headphones on at 94 minutes, and was like, I'll give it like 2, because there was like 10 minutes extra time. I was like, I'll give it like 2 more minutes. If they haven't scored, then I'll leave. And then they scored in the 95th, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I've got to stay now. And then they scored again, and I was like, right, take all this off. I need to get back. We've got an extra half an hour and probably penalties, so because extra time is rubbish. But then we ended up scoring like 3 offside goals in extra time. Anyway, this isn't about the FA Cup game. I said we weren't doing a pod on that because I was still salty, but congratulations to Leeds fans.
Yeah, they have a great day at Wembley. But yeah, had a great day at Old Trafford. So Okenfor opens the score in 5 minutes. This is the great one, the first time finish, which I feel like we've had it 5-a-side before, and the ball would like miss the ball completely or swizz off your foot. He's done exceptionally well to finish that. It's like first time. Really
quick thinking. Like the way the ball drops really fast to him. It's not like he has time to set himself. He's not set himself at all. He's really swung his leg at it, but like very, very talentedly. Like he's like done it. Like he knows what he's doing and stuff, but he's not had time to set himself. So it's not like the most amazing. Like he's not prepared himself to hit the most amazing volley. He's just like luck and talent. Like hit that so sweetly, and it's just gone. Yeah, just back of the net, and they deserved it. I know it's early, but they started really, really fast against United and were really physical as well. They just battered them off the ball.
Well, that's what they were doing. It seemed like they were trying to just get the ball into Dominic Calvert-Lewin as much as possible from the beginning, and he was doing what we've not. Well, he's done a bit more at Leeds, but he's done what he's really good at. He used to give Mark A an awful time against us, like just muscling him off the ball and being awkward and annoying, and United just didn't seem to have a reply to it. And yeah, it helps lead to the second goal, which does have a massive deflection. But like you say, Leeds were completely deserving of a 2-0 lead in the game and probably should have made it 3 with a Tanaka chance, which we said about the goal line clearance from Jimenez, a goal line tackle. That one from Martinez was pretty good. I don't know how Tanaka hasn't just had the opportunity to just poke it in and send the Leeds fans into complete delirium.
Yeah, and there's even when it's 0-0, Calvert-Lewin has a chance that he could probably score from, and that. So like, you know, it definitely felt like they were 2-0 up around 60 minutes, and the fans started olaying, and it was like it's a little bit like it's dangerous, but also you feel like they should have been a third or a fourth up. Like they were by far the better team on the in the match. They were playing them off the park. They were creating chances. Goodmanson and Bogle, I think it was, on the wing, on like the wing backs were incredible energy for days in this, and they really, United didn't know what to do against the formation for a lot of it. Really, the only time the game even came into question for Leeds was after the red card, and when United seemingly got their tails up for that kind of galvanised them a little bit, and then because United were a man down, I think it kind of threw Leeds off a little bit about like how to attack the rest of that game, and they kind of like sat off it a little bit for 10-15 minutes, and then they made some changes, and then it came back to they were pretty safe. They conceded a goal in that time. I think they kind of panicked a little bit for 10-15 minutes, but then they conceded chances. But then late on, Calvert-Lewin has another one. He clears a United chance off the line. So like they were, got over their like panic a bit, come back into the game with a couple of subs, and then obviously you're going to get a little bit of pressure late on, but they survived that, and Calvert-Lewin with a big clearance off the line.
Yeah, I think they just did outstandingly well. Talking point as well, obviously the red card. What do you make of that?
It's soft, isn't it?
It's soft. Hair pulling for me is definitely a red, but I think he's not. I don't know. I don't think he's really meant to pull his hair there. He's like got his hand like grabbing him kind of, but he's not yanked it or anything. It's not like was it Maguire? No, Tarkowski. It's not like the yank on who was it? Rockdory's braids. Was it?
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
More of like it slid through his fingers a bit. I think it's a bit of a harsh one, but
I do think he's like gone to like just annoy him.
Yeah.
And it's like he's like grabbed his like hairband or whatever, and it feels a bit silly calling that violent conduct, which is what the red was given for.
About United getting a soft red? I don't think I am.
No.
I think I'm going to rejoice about it.
Yeah, and if anything, it helped United because with 11 men on the pitch, Leeds had this game sewn up.
Yeah.
As I said, they were doing Ole's in 61st minute. Like United couldn't get the ball off them for a time.
Ridiculous. But yeah, great result for Leeds. Do you want to move on to the Sunderland 1, Spurs 0?
Yeah, this game shouldn't be this high based off of the actual quality of the match.
It was dreadful.
But the importance of the result is what is worth talking about.
Yeah. Does getting relegated mean you're no longer part of the top 6?
Yes. So we might need to rebrand next year to the other 15.
50. Speaking of that, I was like, it was just the first thing that came to my head about it. What about the pen for Spurs? Well, the pen I wasn't given, the column.
I don't think it's a penalty.
I don't think it's a pen either.
Moani's diving. Like if you look at his standing foot, the one that's not near Alderete, it's like classic dive motion. It's like legit like leaping. So and then I think Alderete gets a touch on the ball. So call me biased, but I don't think it's a penalty, and I was glad to see it overturned.
Yeah,
very glad.
It was at all. And then it all just seemed like Sunderland throughout the whole game. Like for me.
Hats off to Brian Brobby. Like that was old school target man masterclass. Like he held up the ball really well. He got both centre backs booked. He rattled Romero and Van der Ven. And then he bullied pathetic Porro. I don't think he elbows him. He just tosses him to the ground.
He doesn't elbow him, but there's a lot of shithousery in his performance, and he probably should have got sent off. Like,
oh, for what?
For the push at the end when he's on a yellow already. I don't think you can do it. I'm all for it.
Push against Porro or another push after?
The Romero one that sends Knitsky or whatever, the keeper, to have his head.
Oh, that's not a push. No, I don't think that's a foul at all.
Either I've not watched a highlight enough times, but it looked like it looked like an unnecessary push. Like I'm all for it, but I think it was lucky that he got away with it.
No, I think that's one of those that because the end result of the collision is as bad as it is, that it makes that look worse. But I think he's kind of just like steadying himself more than actual any like
Well,
pushing motion.
I think he knows exactly what he's doing.
Maybe he's leaned into him. That's not a yellow card.
I don't know, but yeah, I think
The goal summed up this game though. Like
yeah, it's fair.
Mukiele allowed inside. Kind of like there was a Xhaka chance at the end of the first half that was really really close. But then other than that, it was kind of half chances for most of the game. And then like this Mukiele one it's kind of a naff shot. I think it's actually going wide right, or maybe it squeaks in, but
It's not squeaking.
no. And then it like gets the biggest deflection and goes to the other side of the goal, which
Yeah.
from a Tottenham perspective, that is the kind of shit that happens when you're down there. Like that's the kind of shit that I've watched all season long at West Ham. Like keepers who flap into crosses into their own goals. Like it just like that is the kind of stuff that you have to put up with week in, week out. And Tottenham fans won't understand this, or well, Tottenham fans of a certain age won't understand this because they've had a pretty good spell over the last 15 or so years. But that is like we know what this is.
That's
like,
relegation classic right there. The one that I always compare this to is a goal you only can see at the bottom. You might not remember this, but Palace versus Portsmouth, there's a Tony Popovich one where he like the ball's coming in, he chucks his like back heel out of it, manages to back heel it into top bins past Julian Spirelli, and I just remember watching it, be like, yeah, that's it, we're getting relegated. That shit won't
goal of the season contender. Can an own goal be goal of the season?
It would have been because it was fast, but yeah, what can you do? I mean, it ain't looking good for Spurs. It ain't looking good at all. I've always said, like, dropping below you on... Well, sorry, not to you, but dropping into the relegation zone this season on points, on the same amount of games played, I think it's mentally going to hurt the team. And having a new manager come in and not getting the bounce, pretty happy. Brighton scum. If you bring Brighton scum in that plays Mason Greenwood, you probably don't deserve to stay in the Premier League. So... yeah, that's all I've got to take away from that.
Yeah, fair. I mean, Romero's out for the rest of the season. Like, not that he is necessarily a help in this situation, given how much of a hothead he is. Like I think they might actually be better off without him. But yeah, there's still plenty of football to be played. I think there's still going to be like ups and downs. But yeah, I can breathe a bit easier this week.
Yeah, let's just
talk about the relegation zone.
Let's talk about Forest Villa quickly as well. Then we can just finish off all the relegation stuff. It's not the best game, but had a bit of a highlight myself in it. I was staying in the same hotel as the Villa team in Nottingham that morning. So yeah, one of our work colleagues, he was in the lift with Unai Emery with his tactics board. They were messaging in like the WhatsApp group for my mate's birthday. And I was like, they're taking a piss. These people aren't here. And then I was waiting in the lobby, like super hungover. I was like, I went and walked up to my mate when he came down. He was like, realised like Ollie Watkins was just stood next to you. And I was like, no. It's like, what is that up with? I thought he was still shitting me, but then when we walked out, the Villa bus was there, and I was like, fucking hell. You'd think they'd be staying a bit nicer than the places I'm staying, but what do you know?
It was at the travel lodge outside Nottingham.
No, it was a dodgy Airbnb. Nah, actually, Crown Plaza, mate, I'm classy. But, yeah, Villa opened the scoring with Murillo on goal, and probably should have had two with Watkins' chance and Rodgers hitting the bar.
My problem with this game, because I was second screening this with the Tottenham hate watch on the TV, I was so annoyed that I was like, if West Ham play this game against Villa, they score all these chances.
Yeah, I know.
Watkins has a chance, Rodgers has a chance. I don't know how they haven't scored more than one goal in this game.
But so many. It was all in the first half, though. It felt like they had. But no, there was quite a few in the second.
No, there was a couple in the second half. Yeah.
They should have, really. Was it? The Watkins one and a Rodgers one in the first half. Then Williams makes it 1-1 with a pretty good strike to be fair to him. And then he has it's this one, isn't it, where he has a carbon copy and the keeper doesn't save it that time. It's like, how's the keeper missed the first one and not save the second one? Am I being harsh with the keeper?
I think he saves the second one. I think he tries it again and the keeper saves it, but he concedes the first one. Partly because I don't think he's expecting Nico Williams to go near post.
Yeah.
So, like, it's one of those that kind of catches you off guard. Two, I don't know if the weather where you were in Nottingham was as bad as it looks there, or if you had left by this point, but it was like chucking it down from what I could see on the TV.
No, we had left, but on the train, the rain was coming up. Like, the little bit we went through, and it was absolutely horrendous.
It looked like a proper downpour. So that Williams shot is one of those that like zips off the ground and into the corner, and definitely caught the keeper off guard.
Yeah, did. Morgan Gibbs-White has a big chance, but then the two chances that really where Villa should have been winning it was the Rodgers and Watkins ones, where they sky them both over the bar, and that's probably why you were sat there like, why, why?
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. I was like, how the hell? The Rodgers one especially pissed me off because I was like, you're like 8 yards out of goal, mate. How, like, why have you leant back so much and got so much like lift and power on this ball? Like, you just needed to guide it onto the target. And then Watkins is scoring that goal against us 20 times out of 20.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. But I mean, good on Forest.
It's a good point for Forest.
It's a big point for Forest, like, because keeping them off 1 point off you, 3 points away from the relegation zone with nearly identical goal differences. Spurs now after Spurs' results, it's a huge one really. So can't really complain. And then just to talk about the last relegation one, Burnley played a game that we don't really have to talk about. So yeah, we can move on to Palace now, can't we?
We kind of need to talk about it from the other side of things because like Brighton are well in that. We seem to have got back to a point. Do you remember early in the season there was like 10 teams within like 3 points of each other, so every week it was like 15th have moved up to 5th. We seem to have got back to this point after a period of time where it kind of settled and people like top 5 or 6 were kind of a distance apart. Like there were a couple of teams not doing anything in the bottom half, and now we've got back to it where Chelsea in 6th and Newcastle in 14th are 6 points away from each other.
It's mad, isn't it? It's quite exciting for once.
It's great. It's just so weird. I just did not expect us to get back to this situation after the table kind of settled and teams. It was like a couple teams going for it. Like, do you remember a few weeks ago? It was like Fulham were next to Brentford, I swear, and now it's Everton next to Brentford. And you were saying a few weeks ago, like, yeah, I think it's like between these two for the top for like that European spot. It's between any of them now. None of them are consistent, except for Brentford drawing 4 games in a row. But
we'll get on to that. Cool. Let's get Brighton out of the way then. Yeah. Why did I bet on them to go down? It's literally got to be the turning point is when I bet on them to go down and they've gone on like a massive run.
Well, they looked so bad in that game against you. What was that? Was it dreadful. January, February?
I'm guessing January. It's all been a drunk working blur the last 3-4 months. Like,
and then they've gone on an excellent run since around then. Like the last sort of, I think it's the last sort of 10 matches they've looked a lot better. Definitely the last 5, like won 4 out of their last 5, and they're now sitting on like this match against Burnley. I think Burnley had been done so cruel this season by VAR.
Mate, the kneecap and armpit. What the fuck was that? That was outrageous.
But I feel like this happened like 5 or 6 times for Burnley, like where it's been one of these that I don't like. They're spiritually onside, to quote a phrase from Stadio's podcast. Like these goals for Burnley are spiritually onside. Like if you've got JJ Watt celebrating them and complaining about VAR, it's like it's not what the rule of offside was for a kneecap.
Well, it's the first one. The first one, the Anthony one that's disallowed, that looks onside by the naked eye, and I'm saying it is because it's against Brighton. But like I say, the kneecap and the armpit is bullshit. Mm-hmm. Like, they have not measured that correctly. How can you measure someone's just give the goal? What advantage has he gained from that? But there's no point ranting, is there? Because Weeford does score 2 very good goals in the game. I can concede that.
He does, yeah. The first one is a really nice finish after Gross's low cross, and then the second one is an even better finish from the edge of the box. I really, really hope Brighton take this form into the Tottenham game. I like all of the stats and the momentum and everything should make me feel, as a West Ham fan, quite confident about Brighton going into the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this Saturday and beating them. I just have this feeling that I'm not going to get the result that I want.
There's too many Brighton wankers involved in that game on Saturday for my liking, if I'm being honest. And I don't know what I want.
It's going to be the biggest hate watch for you ever.
Yeah, because they're like, well, if De Zerbi doesn't do something in this game, what's the point?
Sack him. Get another manager in.
You laugh, but I was
Harry Redknapp will be out of the jungle by then, won't he?
When I was having a conversation with a Spurs fan on the way up to my mate's birthday, and I was like, who do you want? Were you happy with De Zerbi? He was like, yeah, we want like a proper manager. I was like, do you not want like someone that can help you defend? He was like, nah, I'm not for this, like, put the arm around the player, like, hold out for results type of stuff. And I was like, you're talking like someone that's never been in a relegation scrap. Like, you're talking
exactly, you took the words out of my mouth. It was like that smacks of someone who still thinks they're 13th and they just need a few results to get back into the top 10. Like, no, guys, you're 18th.
you need to keep clean sheets. Like, that's it. Like, it's worrying times. Like, very worrying times. But yeah,
I'm glad Brighton have something to play for going into that game. From a Burnley perspective, yeah, harshly done by the VAR and the refereeing decisions, but we kind of knew that was Burnley.
It's mad though. I think
that was Burnley were kind of done.
Yeah, we'll review it later when the season's over. But I think they could have done a bit more. Like, they've had chances in games. I think there was something.
They have,
there.
but they're like, if you can compare them to like Sunderland and Leeds, they're nowhere near as physical.
Yeah,
they don't have like they can't match up man for man with most of these teams.
Yeah, we'll get into it in review because there's a lot to dissect there. We can do it on the relegated teams, but anyway, should we move on to the game I was very hungover at? Palace 2, Newcastle 0. Newcastle 1, sorry. Forgot about the first goal that made me want to leave and go home and sleep.
What you mean, William Asula finding a way to get it out of his legs and squeak it past?
Exactly that. I may have said the West Ham game first half was a snooze fest. This game wasn't just a snooze fest, it was awful. It were two very mid-table, nothing to play for, kind of shit teams, like kicking a ball around out of hope. And then, Newcastle, I thought we looked better in the first half, I'm honest, but we didn't deserve a goal. Newcastle get the goal from Lacroix, like mistouch. It's a pretty clever finish, I'll give it to him. But then to celebrate,
he's gone for it.
To celebrate for the 2 minutes was a bit much, but hey ho.
It's Osula. He doesn't score many, so you got to give him.
Mate, didn't he just win goal of the month? Like, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that's his only other goal this season. Like,
but yeah. Then all I saw was Newcastle getting a second in this game. It really says a lot that they've lost 26 points or something from winning positions this season.
Well, yeah, that they would be like second if they didn't drop any points from winning positions, which obviously is going to happen, but like not at the rate that Newcastle have done this season. And obviously Palace come into it, but like I just don't see how Howard's going to keep his job now. Like I think this and the Sunderland result was kind of like losing points from being ahead again. I just think they're just gonna say thank you but goodbye at the end of the season.
Get rid of the Rat Man, but what's going to happen? The Rat Man's going to come to Palace. So
he is 100% going to come to Palace, and we're going to live emergency pod when he does.
No, my theory is if we win the Conference League, we're going to get like I said, some hipster manager from a league I do not know. But if we don't, Sean Dyche is going to be signed. If we go out, Sean Dyche is going to be their contract next day. 3 years of mediocrity, rebuilding all the money they spent on Strand Larsen, and then maybe
December 2026.
No, we'll just be 12th forever. But yeah, other thing from this game, we got our lunatic back, which I'm pretty happy about.
I was going to say, Mateta back in your good books now, is he?
I can't even remember what I was saying on the pod about it all. It was just sad. It was
you
sad.
You called him a bastard. You called him a traitor.
I don't think I did. But if I did, then fair enough. But it was just sad. It was just him being badly managed by his agent. If he wanted to go, he could. I was happy for him to go with his injury. I don't know all this bollocks I was fed about his injury through like my podcasts and media. he just needed to lie on the bench for like a month, and then he's come back looking better than ever. I mean, this game did change on the substitutes we made and substitutes they made. To be fair, they looked to hold the game. We brought our first team on, so we brought Kamada on, who looked insanely good. Walton looked good. Sarr making all the difference. Brendan Johnson being the invisible man again on the pitch. Pino looked good in the game, but though the front three of like Mateta, Daichi, and Sarr is just a different level, like completely. But yeah, and then the Benga boys was playing big time, and I had the best Sunday afternoon ever. When really me and my mates that I went with at half time were like having a beer, and we're like, should we just go? Should we go to the pub and watch the rest of it there? Like, but happy I stayed. And then some funny bits as well, just showing how much, I don't want to say just South London hates North London, but everyone hates North London at the moment. When they said about the Spurs score on a tannoy at Selhurst, everyone started cheering. In the Clifton Arms, so the pub on the corner of Selhurst, we were watching a City game. When Mark A scores, everyone started cheering.
Yeah, I thought you might have liked that one.
Proper North London hate watchers at the moment. But yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of made me feel safe about relegation. I was going into that game just looking over the shoulder a bit. Not gonna lie,
you would have been fine.
Like because of your win, basically. But yeah, it all feels like we can breathe. We can go to Fiorentina with the 3-goal advantage. Hopefully not fuck it up, and then look forward to an away day in Poland, which will be crazy. And you just sit there and you think of everything. Well, I haven't really talked about the 3-0 Fiorentina midweek. I won't touch too much on it, but sat at the pub after that game, you just think if there hadn't been the outburst from Glasner, there hadn't been the outburst from Mateta, all that stuff in the middle of the season, be sat there being like, Glasner's our greatest ever manager, be a massive love-in. It's all managed to feel good again, and it always seems to be that way. When the sun comes out, Palace all the nightmares are over. So
a win changes everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, that Fiorentina win's probably the greatest.
But that's what I meant. That's what I meant as the win. Like, this was a sort of a cherry on top, but the Fiorentina win, like it sounded like I texted you after it and was like that. The atmosphere sounded incredible, and
that felt
made me
different
reminisce the West Ham Thursday night football and stuff.
Yeah, that felt different to any night at Selhurst. The only thing I think's been close to that was Crystal, maybe in my lifetime at least. But yeah, that was different level, and I hope we have another one to contend with. But that's enough Palace loving for me. Should we move on to Brentford Everton 2-2 clash for European football?
Yeah, the 7th and 8th went head to head and came out even. It was a pretty decent game. Like, started crazy. I turned this one a minute in, and like it was like the penalty was given, and I was like, wait, what?
It's like, how do you give away a penalty in 90 seconds? Like it's crazy. But yeah,
it's definitely a penalty as well. Like, no question about it. Like, it's a really, really good attack. Like, Everton definitely should have been defensively set more, because Schade just waltzes through them, and then Pickford sticks his foot in,
and then Thiago converts from the spot. And is it this one that makes him Brentford's highest?
This one is his 20th Premier League goal of the season.
And is that the most for a Brentford player, which is crazy? Or was it the second one?
I think it's the second one, because I think Mbermo did get 20.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did, actually, you're right. But, yeah, I mean, props to him. Didn't see that one coming. Oh. It's just... I
mean, a fair of them have been from the spot, I will say, but still incredible, great season for Igor Thiago.
Hey, if a West Ham scored 20 goals a season and they'd all be from the spot, you would be...
You would never hear about the penalty. I would never talk about it, of course. It would be building him a statue, mate. I'd be too busy crafting the statue myself.
With your cock.
Fully erect.
Your tiny little chisel.
This was a real bit of a back and forward game. Like, Brentford get the early goal, and then Everton kind of took control from then and like bounced back really well. And then O'Brien forces his way around Lewis Potter and ends up with a Beto nod into the back post. But other than that, Kelleher and Pickford were trading really good saves. It was, both teams had chances.
Mate, the Kelleher double save that ends up being I think it's deemed offside. I don't know if it actually was. But those were two massive saves, and really showing it. Pickford with his little T-Rex arms, as you're saying, pulling off big saves. But like you kind of touched on, it's Everton giving away chances in games as usual, but hanging on for their dear life. And I don't know how Moyes has done it. I really don't. Because at West Ham, you weren't giving away chances and hanging in there the whole time, were you? You're very much like, we're going to be boring, we're going to sit behind the ball, and then just...
No, we used to concede decent chance creation, and like would have like good chances created against us, but it was, yes, a case of defend the box and try and break on the counter. Don't know whether he just doesn't necessarily have the players to do that with Everton at the moment. Like, you look at their back line, like Mikalenko's not really that kind of player. O'Brien feels like he should be a centre back, but we've kind of just put him in at right back. Looks a bit odd there. Yeah, it looks a bit odd there.
He was under 21 centre back for us for ages, so yeah, it is odd that he's playing left back, or right back, or just as full back. Yeah, but I mean, Brentford did a lot not to win this game in the end. Do you agree?
How do you mean that?
Well, once getting the second goal, I'd expect them to hold on. I don't know why I'd expect Brentford to do it, but they've been doing so well this season at seeing out games. I just expect
we've seen Everton come on late in games though as well. So like, I agree. You would want Brentford in the position they're in. You would want them when they go 2-1 up to hold on to that lead. But Everton have shown throughout the season that they will keep going until the final whistle. Like they've had multiple games that have come down to injury time winners, injury time equalisers in this case, and Dewsbury Hall with a great finish in what was both sun and rain, and it's like, and I think they deserved it as well. I think a draw was a fair result.
Yeah, I'm not saying it against the result. I just feel like I would have expected Brentford to be able to see it out at the G-Tech as well. But I guess they just want to get that record of most draws in a row. What probably is that record? It's probably something ludicrous, isn't it? Why do I feel like we hold that for most 0-0 boring games in a row? Or put it past us. But,
probably in a season.
I guess it doesn't help, Brentford Everton that much with the pack closing in for European football. Ugh. A bit of me would like Brentford to get the European football. Do you?
Yeah.
Well, this is not
I think it would be very interesting for Brentford to get it. I think it would be quite celebrated if Everton get it. It's going to be interesting. Like, fifth place now gets a Champions League spot, so like bumps it down one, I think, and then like there's all to play for. Obviously, you would have liked one of these two teams would have liked to have won that game, with obviously, as I mentioned earlier, how few points separate the chase and pack. But it's interesting. There's something to play for throughout the league this year, whereas we've not had that in recent seasons. It's either the relegation race has been tied up or title race was tied up. So we're in for an interesting last month and a half.
Yeah, we need to wonder why it's turned out like that, because the money system is fucked and it's about to get worse next season with the laws that are implemented on it. But we can talk about that at a different time. Cool. I guess the last game to talk about, Liverpool Fulham. Just
anything to say on it, really? Like Fulham, when they had their best attacking moments, they then concede straight down the other end. Like, they had a couple of half chances, and then Ungamoa goes down the other end and scores, and it's like, and then Salah scores minutes after, and it's like, all right, well, that's kind of game over. There's a couple of half chances late. Smith Rowe hits one wide. Jimenez goes close, but I don't think Fulham really turned up for this.
That's it, isn't it? It's just one of those where you expect... It's one of those results you look at and it's just like, yeah, know what happened there. Turned up, lost, moved on. It's like, not really...
Such a, unnoticeable result. It's just kind of like, as a away fan, you're just like, annoying, frustrating.
Yeah,
sort of come to the bottom of the pack, but
typical Fulham.
Maybe, yeah. Like, look at their last 5: win, loss, draw, win, loss. So sounds like their next result will be a draw against Brentford. But typical inconsistent Fulham.
Yeah, I guess we'll use that to move on to the predictions then for next game week, and it's a long one. we've got weekend games and midweek games. Got, what was it, 5 days of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of straight football. Not
Oh,
really.
what? Why do we have Wednesday night football?
Because there's rearranged ones, I think, for I was going to say the FA Cup semis. Yeah, it's going to be rearranged.
Yeah, the FA Cup semis.
Yeah, so let's just get into it, man. See how it goes.
When the hell are we going to podcast?
I don't know.
Thursday? All right, we'll figure that out after. Go for it.
And I'm on a stag do for all of these as well, I think. No, not this one.
Fuck's sake, man.
No, I'm on a stag do next Thursday. Yeah, we're far. We'll figure it out. Let's pray for 0-0s across the board. Early kickoff on Saturday, Brentford, Fulham, West London derby. 2-1. No, 2-2, I'm going.
Yeah, I'm going draw. 0-0.
Okay, Leeds, Wolves. I'm going to go 2-0 Leeds, I think. Ellen Road, after that win against United. Actually, maybe 1-1. They're probably all still drunk after being United.
I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds.
Cool. Newcastle, Bournemouth. I'm going 0-0. I don't know why.
Ooh, the Eddie Howe derby.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 3-3.
Damn. Hope for a lot. Cool. Spurs, Brighton.
I have to speak this into existence, Fortune telling. Brighton 3-0.
I think 1-0 Spurs. I don't know why. They've got to get a win this calendar year, and I think this will be the one. I
hope you're cursing them.
Yeah, I don't think they'll get any more, but I think this will be the one. If that sounds mad. Then Sunday, 2:00 kickoff, Villa Sunderland. I think 3-0 Villa.
Oof. Yeah, I think Villa 2-1.
I've got it's Merseyside derby this weekend as well. Didn't realise that.
First at the Dickinson.
Hill Dickens. Go on then. Big day for Everton, 2-1.
I'm going to go 1-0 Everton.
It does have that feel
Let's
to
go
it,
for
doesn't it? Then Forest Burnley. I'm going to go 1-1.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-2 Desmond.
Then we have Monday night, the other 14 derby. I have no idea.
Just roll over for us. Just don't turn up. Forfeit the match, please.
Yeah.
I'm gonna back us. I'm gonna go for a 2-1 win.
See, I'm gonna go 1-0 Palace if we rest a lot in Fiorentina. If not, then yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1 you, if I'm honest.
Surely, even with that 3-goal advantage, you don't rest players.
Yeah, I know you don't, but I'm thinking get to half time, hopefully get another goal, and then rest a load of players for a half. But yeah. See how it goes. Then Brighton Chelsea Tuesday. Oh my God, I couldn't care about a game less. 0-0. Literally.
Yeah, I am gonna go 1-1.
Nice. Wednesday's games, Bournemouth Leeds. I don't know what state these teams will be in by the time we get to this.
I think Leeds will have an eye on the FA Cup that following weekend. I think it will be. So I am going to go Bournemouth 2-0.
I'm going to go Bournemouth 1-0. And then Burnley City. Just pray for City 4-0.
Yeah, I think City will win that 2-0.
Yeah. Nice, cool. Okay, back in the groove. A little bit rusty, but I think we did quite well there.
Yeah, we got there. First time back. It was nice. Hey, we even kept it short.
Yeah. Oh my God, we have for once. It's less
short,
to talk,
under an hour.
There's less to talk about when it comes to some of the games, though, isn't it? Like the Liverpool Fulham game. What do Fulham fans want us to talk about? Like, there's now.
I mean, if I was a Fulham fan, I wouldn't be tuning into to any podcasts after this. I can tell you, I wasn't listening to many West Ham podcasts when we were absolutely dire, getting battered every week. So,
if I was a football fan, I wouldn't listen to us talk shit about it.
Especially selling the podcast, Alex. You're supposed to enjoy this.
I love it. I love talking to you, mate. But I hope the listeners don't. Anyway, feel free to rate and review the pod and tell your friends. Follow us on
Alex
socials.
has got the giggles now.
Yeah, I do. Follow us on socials at TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky, Reddit, at Other14FC Podcast, or email in at Other14FCPodcast@gmail.com. But yeah, otherwise, Tom, I'll catch you next week.
Peace.
See you.